Hello everyone, it's Nick here from Nick's News and Reviews, and we're at the end of another long week. Today's date is the 9th of January, is that right? Yes, it's the 9th of January, I just checked. Hopefully that was seamless. And what videos have we been having a look at this week? Well, a mixture this time, about one on each system, which I tend to look at, but an even spread this week round. The first one was on the ZX Spectrum, called Bumpset and Spike, produced by Entertainment USA way back in 1986. This is a sports type of game based on volleyball. The game is actually known as International Volleyball in other quarters. And although this version is called Bumpset and Spike, they don't seem to have been bothered to alter the in-game graphics, so it says International Volleyball everywhere. But anyway, that's by the by. Basic as it is, I quite like this game. You control two stickmen, that's right, against two other stickmen against a computer, and it's volleyball. You have to win the rally, and it's the first to 10 that win. I found this a bit tricky initially because by alternating keys, which are definable, thank goodness, you can switch between your players and just keep the rally going until you win. I won't tell you what happened, but it's a nostalgic one. The crowd cheer after each point, well, it gets a little bit annoying, but it's not bad. The crowd cheering is very similar to that of Daley Thompson's Decathlon, which came out a couple of years before, I believe, so I don't know if they just lifted it from that. But that was Bumpset and Spike. And then we move over to the Amiga. Now this is a game I've had a look at on a few other systems, the Game Boy Advance and indeed the ZX Spectrum. Quite interested to see what it looked like on this one. It's Afterburner by Sega from 1989. Now there's another version doing the rounds by Activision, which by all accounts is terrible, so we'll have to see how we look at this. But this is the good one out of the two. Now to me this Afterburner version plays slightly slower than the arcade version, and indeed the Game Boy Advance version. It's not my favourite one, but it is the easiest to control. The enemies seem to stay on the screen longer. When you bank left and right they seem to follow your movements, and avoiding the missiles seems a bit more skillful rather than random. I don't know if that's because the graphics are just slower on that system, but it's not bad. It's not a bad game. I prefer the Game Boy Advance version if it has to be said, but the Game Boy Advance, although it's a handheld, is 32-bit, and the Commodore Amiga is 16-bit. But I don't mind this one. There is a sequel called Afterburner 2, which we'll have to track down to see how that differs. But all in all, not a bad game, quite entertaining. All the graphics are there, the refueling stages, so a good one as you control your F-14 Tomcat. And let's face it, that's the closest that a lot of us are ever going to get to. Next one now, we move over to, wait for it, on the PlayStation. Tomb Raider blundering again. I know it's been about a month I've been trying to complete this stage, but stage 13, Natla's Mines. So this is stage 13 of 15, the game's by Eidos from 1996. We've been steadily going through this time we start off in Mines. Lara's had all her weapons stripped from her, and we have to collect initially 3 fuses, which I make heavy work of, to be honest, to lower this office which has got pistols in it. Then you've got to avoid lots of lava boulders and all manner of stuff, solve some puzzles, move boxes around, and I think shoot some guy on a skateboard, but he's an evil guy, he's got Uzis, and then get out of there. So have a look at that one. Eventually I've done it. The video lasts about an hour and a half, so if you're new to that series and you're working your way through from the start, it's going to take you a while, but well worth it, I say. I'm not biased or anything. So that's stage 13 done, Natla's Mines on the PlayStation. Then we move on, see it is an even spread. This time it's the Game Boy Advance, seem to be one of each this time. It's a Super Mario clone, it has to be said, a lot of them cashing into the success of that former game. This is Crash Nitro Racing from 2003, produced by Universal Interactive. Although it is a clone, it's based on characters from the Crash Bandicoot series that I have to admit I am a little bit unaware of. It's not a passion of mine, the Crash Bandicoot series, although I did play it a little bit. But it plays very much like Mario Kart. The graphics are there, various circuits, options of single races or championships, which is labelled as adventures, I think. Quite a few number of tracks, 8 karts like Super Mario. It's a good one. The podium's a bit better graphics than that other game, but all the way through the review I couldn't stop mentioning that one. Out of the two I'd go for Super Mario, but this isn't a bad little game. There's lots of karting games out there, Sonic and Disney characters, and also I think there's a Formula 1 going on about. We're cutesy Formula 1 drivers. So this one's good in good stead. I give this the thumbs up. I would do if I did the right hand. I always do this. Thumbs up. You know why I do this? It's because I've got this display on the camera here, and I have it flipped round so I can see roughly what's going on, but because I flip it round, it's all back to the front. So it's blowing my own fault there, so what can I expect? So that mistake will probably happen quite a few times in the future. Hooray! And the last game we had a look at was looking at the Pinball Arcade, which I promised to go through at least the 4 initial tables. This one is the Black Hole, released by Farsight initially in 2012, based on the cool retro table by Gottlieb in 1981. It's fairly basic compared to the other tables I've reviewed, but this one did come out later, the real life tables I should say. One of the first real life tables to feature 2 playfields, an upper playfield and one slightly underneath. A very interesting table, got some cool speech which says, "You'll never escape the black hole," or something a bit like that. Something with a bit more feeling than what I did. But it's a good one. I got a good score on it. I released multi-ball. It's good for historic value. By Gottlieb I say, so have a look at that one as well. So 5 videos again this week. My laptop battery seems to have gone kaput, so I need to replace that. That's causing a bit of bother. But anyway, I hope you've had a good week yourself. Into a new week now, should get a few videos up at the weekend. So yeah, have a good one. Until next time then, goodbye. Wrong hand again. Goodbye. Don't tell anyone about that. Goodbye.
Goodbye.